Hey guys, tonight we wake up before sunrise in the beating heart of ancient Rome, where the air is still cool and the city hasn't yet decided whether it wants to roar or whisper. You're lying on a thin mattress stuffed with straw, staring up at a ceiling that may or may not drop a bit of plaster onto your face before the week is out. Congratulations. You live in the greatest city on earth. You probably won't survive this, but in a very normal, historically accurate way. A faint gray light slips through the small window of your insula apartment, brushing the walls with soft color. The city outside is already stretching awake. Somewhere below, a mule snorts, a cartwheel creaks, someone coughs dramatically, as if auditioning for the role of Roman citizen number 3. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're settling in, comment your location and local time. I always love seeing where in the modern world you're drifting off while we wander through the ancient one. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You sit up slowly, wrapping your simple wool tunic tighter around your shoulders. Dawn in Rome doesn't explode into color. It unfolds gently, like a scroll being unrolled across the horizon. From your small window, you can just make out the slope of one of the 7 hills. The city rests across them like a lazy cat, sprawling and self-important. Rome in the 1st century CE is enormous, around 1 million people at its peak. That's one mainstream historical fact to carry with you as you rub sleep from your eyes. 1 million neighbors, 1 million stories, 1 million chances to accidentally step in something unpleasant on the street. You stand, feeling the chill of the tiled floor beneath your feet. There's no glass in your window, just shutters, so the morning air drifts in freely. It carries scents that are layered: wood smoke from early hearth fires, fresh bread from a nearby bakery. And yes, less poetic smells too, because Rome's sanitation system, impressive as it is, cannot quite conquer everything. Historians still argue whether most ordinary Romans woke this early by necessity or by habit, shaped by daylight rhythms. There are no alarm clocks buzzing on wooden nightstands. Instead, life follows the sun. When it rises, so do you. You shuffle toward a small basin. Washing is quick and practical. A splash of cool water to the face, a run of damp fingers through your hair. If you're lucky, you have a bit of olive oil soap. If not, water will do. Romans are surprisingly invested in cleanliness, even if their streets suggest otherwise. Outside, the first real wave of sound begins. Sandals slap against stone. Vendors call out softly to claim their morning spots. A neighbor argues with his wife about a missing sandal strap. You pause and listen. This is the quietest Rome will be all day. You step toward the narrow stairwell of your insula. These apartment buildings can rise several stories high, sometimes dangerously so. Fires and collapses are common enough that you've developed a healthy suspicion of creaking beams. There's even a fringe tidbit floating around the city. Some Romans believe protective household spirits, the Lares, hold the walls upright if properly honored. Structurally questionable theology, perhaps, but comforting. As you descend the stairs, you pass neighbors emerging one by one. A baker's apprentice already dusted in flour. An older woman clutching a small basket. A child rubbing his eyes, clearly not thrilled to be conscious yet. No one says much. Morning in Rome is practical. When you finally step outside, the street greets you in dusky blue light. The paving stones are uneven, worn smooth by centuries of sandals, hooves, and wheels. Large stepping stones cross the street at intervals, raised so you can avoid whatever liquids may be flowing, pee. Your stomach reminds you that breakfast, jentaculum, is usually simple. Maybe bread dipped in wine, perhaps a smear of cheese. Nothing extravagant. Roman breakfasts are not the grand feasts modern imagination sometimes suggests. Those are reserved for later, and mostly for the wealthy. As you move through the narrow street, shopkeepers lift wooden shutters from their storefronts. A baker slides loaves from an oven. The smell is warm and inviting. Public fountains trickle steadily, fed by aqueducts that stretch for miles beyond the city. That's another solid historical fact. Rome's aqueduct system is one of the engineering marvels of the ancient world, delivering fresh water daily to fountains, baths, and some private homes. You pause at a fountain, cupping your hands to drink. The water is cool, surprisingly clean. You splash a little on your neck. Around you, conversation begins to spark. Two men debate yesterday's chariot race results. A woman complains about rising grain prices. A young slave hurries past, balancing a bundle of laundry. Social lines are already visible in posture and clothing. Togas for male citizens on formal days, though most wear simpler tunics in daily life. Slaves in plain garments. Freedmen trying to signal their new status subtly but confidently. Historians still argue whether daily life for the average Roman felt stable or perpetually uncertain. The empire stretches from Britain to Egypt, but your world, right now, is a few streets wide. Stability is measured in bread prices and the absence of fires. A dog trots past you, tail wagging, then abruptly barks at a passing cart. You sidestep as the cart rattles over stones, its wooden wheels echoing between buildings. Dust lifts into the air, catching golden sunlight. You head toward the heart of the city, though you won't reach it just yet. The Forum lies ahead, but morning belongs to preparation, to waking, to becoming visible. The sun finally clears the horizon, and Rome shifts fully into motion. Shadows shorten, voices grow louder. The eternal city stretches its limbs and opens its eyes, and you, one ordinary soul among a million, step forward into a perfectly normal day, unaware of how many small, fascinating details are about to unfold before night returns.